and I'll kick it off. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hopping on this. Welcome to Team Your Best Fitness, where our mission is to empower others to live their best life. All of you guys, you're fitness professionals, and you're here to just learn more about how we use this platform to help enhance what we already do. And I just want to, I know you guys, some of you are like, I don't even know what coaching is. Some of you are like, I know a little bit about it, and some of you are already coaches and just looking for other ways to utilize this platform. So thank you for being here. Welcome. And I'm just going to quickly introduce myself, then tell you what to expect during this call, and then we will introduce our guest speaker. So I'm Emily. I am the founder of Team Your Best Fitness, and I'm married to my hubby for 20 years this year, 2 teenage girls and a son. Our nephew moved in just recently. I'm a former military, used to be an elementary school teacher as well, and I've been in the fitness industry now for 16 years as a personal trainer, group fitness instructor, and studio owner. And so that's me. During this call, we're just going to be sharing with you what it looks like, how we utilize coaching in different ways to enhance what we do, as I said, as fitness professionals, what coaching looks like and how we make money and just some different things like that. So during the call, I'm just going to ask that you mute yourselves just because of the feedback. And we aren't going to do questions on this call just because we want to keep it to an hour. However, grab a paper and a pencil, and every question you have that comes up during this call, write it down, because whoever invited you to this call will follow up with you, check in with you, and make sure that we do get your questions answered after the call. So, and I know we've invited the most energetic, talkative people in town to this call because you're fitness instructors. And now I'm going to tell you to mute yourselves. And I'm also actually going to ask, because this is, I don't know, I'm a group fitness instructor, so I'm butterflies. And if you're in the chat, it's distracting. So if you can just refrain from utilizing the chat during the call too, it just helps us, because we're butterflies too, refrain from that. So I know I'm telling the most energetic people, talkative people to not right now, but we will follow up with you afterwards for all those questions and things. So with that, I'm going to introduce Christine. I'm shaking. I'm so honored, honestly, to have her on this call. I'm going to try not to cry, but Christine has been a fitness professional for 29 years, a coach for 12 of those years. She's mentored, girl knows what she's doing. She's mentored 13 coaches to 7-figure incomes and multiple other coaches to multiple 6-figure incomes. She's the highest earning coach and has achieved a lot and created the largest team in Beachbody. She's the founder of Platinum Presenters, which is a team founded largely of fitness professionals. So, and I could list all her accolades, and she has so many titles and accolades to go with this, but I know that doesn't really mean anything to someone who isn't a coach. But in summary, I'll just tell you this. She's been incredibly successful, but in doing that, what those mean is she's helped so many people become successful. She's made an incredible impact in this world. And so I'm honored to have you on this call, Christine. And with that, I'm going to toss it to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Emily. I'm first of all honored that you had asked me to come and do this. I really appreciate that. And I just am looking at my hair is very white on this. Is it the home dyeing that we're doing during this time? Anyway, I am first of all so grateful for you and the team and everyone that is spending their time here to learn more about what coaching is about, as well as how can it be something that you already put into your current existing portfolio as a fitness professional. One thing I do want to correct though in Emily's beautiful introduction of myself is I'm actually not the highest earning coach within the company. At one point I was, but I'm not any longer. And I have grown. My team is Platinum Presenters. Our team initially did start with predominantly all fitness professionals because that was my wheelhouse. That was my relationships. So when I went to people to talk to them about becoming a coach, that's who I had in my back pocket because I had already been talking and developing relationships with fitness people for so many years. So it was pretty much a natural thing that the team started with a lot of fitness professionals. And the difference, I think, also with fitness professionals is that we do lock arms really quick. Like once we find out somebody else is in fitness, then you're like, oh my gosh, you're my best friend. You know, like you immediately start to connect. And that's why I think our team thrives so strongly, because we did really keep it as a strong fitness supportive family, helping each other one way or another. But at this time, the team did grow. It's the largest team within the entire company. At the current rate, just to give you kind of numbers right now, we are bringing on about 5,000 new people a week into our team. So this team is pretty dang successful because coaching is in demand, if not the most important time right now, is where people have now discovered where they have pitfalls in their life with their fitness. And this unfortunate time has kind of revealed a shining star for people who are like you, who want to help other people, who want to have a bigger platform to be able to do it, but may not have all the time, the experience, or even the know-how to be able to do that. So our team is currently at this rate bringing on 5,000 new coaches every week, building our team. So we have the largest team, the highest earning team. So we do have the highest earners on our team, as well as the highest rank achieving team. So we know our stuff. And when Emily asked me to talk with you all about how do fitness professionals actually add coaching into their lifestyle, and how do they make it so it's not icky? How do they make it so that they don't lose themselves? I totally love talking about this topic because I will stand on a podium and talk to so many fitness people, really showing them the error of their ways of physicality and abuse of your body and of your time, and how you are so disposable. You have no control over your position or your income, and you need to think about expanding your streams of income, and you need to find ways that you can do it that you're not putting such a demand on your time and your body. And that's why I'm excited to talk to you about this. I thought one of the easiest ways that I could go about talking to you with this is to tell you kind of the pitfalls that I had with my development of my fitness professional career, because you might find yourself in some pace of where I started in fitness. Now, I'm a real old dog in fitness, like Emily said. I mean, I've been a fitness instructor for 29 years. I started my first year of college. I was working in the rec center, and my boss at the time, he said, "Hey, we wanted to start group fitness. Can you go get certified? We'll pay for it." I'm like, okay, I've never done aerobics in my life, but okay. So they paid for me to go, and you get the certification and you walk out, and then you're like, now what? Where's the music? What moves do I do? So I heavily relied on VHS tapes and following Janice Sappel, which I oddly find enough, her and I are connecting on social media now. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're my kickboxing mentor, from all those years. But you copy all that choreography and you just wing it. And I became really successful in the college. I mean, I had one girl take my class 2 times a week. I was very popular. But my fitness career did expand. Thankfully, of course, I did grow in my own fitness career, got more certifications, worked in the local gyms, but I had this big dream of, I want to get bigger. I want to be the IT instructor at the gym. I want to be the one that's fitness famous. I want to have my own workout video line. I want to be presenting at conferences. I had a bigger vision, and I was becoming so obsessed with learning everything about fitness, and I didn't know what to do, but all I knew what to do was to do it myself. And so that's what I did. I got my little 8mm camcorder out. For those of you who have no idea, they're little cassettes with tape in it. And I filmed my classes. It was called Cardio Blast. And I had a bunch of, the Reebok with the socks and the unitard. Like, that was the day. And I actually did find my VHSs the other day. I was like, oh my God, this is it. People bought these videos because I made them. Then I duplicated them VHS to VHS, and then I made the packaging, like printed up on my home printer, a cover. And then at the hospital, I was an x-ray tech, the IT guy created a website for me to sell them on this new internet thing that we were using back around 1994. And people started to buy them. And I was like, oh my gosh, people are really gonna want these things? Like, I was so shocked by it. But that didn't last very long, because obviously the internet changed so much and technology I didn't. Plus, I can't keep doing such a low-end product myself. But I really wanted to get bigger. I wanted to get fitness famous. And I accidentally came across a message board where there was a fitness person on there who was just pretty much starting out her fitness company and was looking for presenters for her company. And what a presenter would do was go and certify people. And I was like, this is it. I can become famous. She's going to be blown away by me because I'm amazing. And I auditioned, and she's like, you got to be teaching our formats. I was like, ugh, I don't like them. I didn't like her workouts at all. I didn't like it at all because I was like the freestyle girl. I could do it. And she was the trademark workout girl where you make the choreography and the music and then you do that. Oops, sorry. So I was like, okay, but this is what I have to do to become fitness famous, then I will. Well, for those of you who aren't sure who I'm talking about, and you may or may not know her, but it is a fitness celebrity and a business expert, Chalene Johnson. She was the person that I met on a message board back in about 1998. And around 2000 is when I started to work for her company as a presenter. And I grew within her company, working then eventually full time. I quit my x-ray career. That was the degree I had, and I quit that for a fitness job. But I started working for Chalene full time because it was a way for me to be able to impact more people in a grander scale. Because think about this. When I was an instructor, so when you're an instructor, who can you really impact? You can really impact the people that come and take your 5:30 class, right? You become well known as the Monday 9 a.m. yoga girl. You become known in that 4 walls or that time slot or the moment you're in the gym. And that's really the only people that you can strongly impact, because those people become in love with you. They will do whatever you say. They follow you around and they'll do a different class that you're subbing out even if they don't like it because it's you. And that's where I then realized, I'm limiting myself here, because if I stay as an instructor, I can only really help people that are right here who like my turbo kick class, who like my dance class. That's it. But if I become the presenter, I now have expanded my reach. And then I can teach at conferences and I can film videos and all of that. I initially was nervous about it because I thought that you would have to teach it exactly like she said. I thought you'd have to be like a Stepford wife. And what I discovered, I was wrong. So the thoughts you sometimes have about what it is, isn't it? And what I discovered was, oh my gosh, I am still me. I still deliver an uppercut or a front kick my way. It's just the pattern of me following something and actually taking less stress off of me to not have to create it all from scratch again. I still have flexibility of interpretation. I still have me, my brand. I still create my following. And that's what I discovered was Chalene and her company was a platform. It was a vehicle for me to be able to scale faster, to get to where I wanted to go. Because quite honestly, if I never became a presenter working for Chalene, I know 100% I would have never become a fitness conference presenter. I know 100% I would have never filmed any professional workout videos. I know, because that road is a really hard road that the smallest little percent of people will get. And a lot of people want that, but it's a really hard thing to achieve, especially if you're in a small pond. So think about the control you have with yourself and the journey that you want to take. I'm not saying you have to become a presenter, because quite honestly, you want to know something? Presenters lose a lot of money. We worked so hard for her company. We would give up so much time, volunteer, drive 6 hours. I remember driving 6 hours to Boston, Massachusetts in the middle of dead winter to go do a free promo class to show Boston what Turbo Kick was about and to try to get people to want to sign up for a certification, and then drive 6 hours all the way back for free, because you don't get paid for that stuff. But we did it. When I talk about we, I'm talking about everybody that worked for a company, because we believed in what we were doing. We believed in the impact of how we could change people's lives. And we wanted people to be part of this tribe. So we did that. And we, of course, did make money, but in general, presenters, master trainers, conference presenters don't. You don't. I didn't make a lot of money. I gave a ton of time for that. So then what I realized is this. You know what? I've now limited myself again, because the only people I really can impact is somebody who wants to get certified. Who wants to get certified? Like, my sister's not going to get certified. My sister actually did get certified in Turbo Kick. It was horrible. She was horrible. But she's not going to teach, you know? So start thinking about where your reach is, and your reach is actually very stunted. Because if you truly want to help other people in their health and fitness journey, you have to load up on more toolboxes. You need to have other ways to touch people, because the four walls that you're in right now might be good for just those people right there. And if you do expand yourself online and build an online brand or become a fitness conference presenter or work for a trademark company, that is only going to limit you to that tribe. But it does do this. It teaches you so much, because I became all of those things because I scaled with Shalene's company. I gained experience. I learned how to do public speaking. I learned how to film to video. I learned how to present at a conference, which is a total wild animal. It's like your steak in the middle of a lion's den. Fitness people at a conference are nasty. Like, you have to be Jim Miller or everybody hates you, you know? And I don't even know if I know who Jim Miller is anymore. But anyway, my point is it allowed, I learned all from those steps to become even more polished and more professional, to be able to do sales, because I had to sell her clothes. I had to sell the trainings, but I did it without selling because I loved it. So when coaching was put on my lap, I said, no, that's dumb. Who would do that? Why would someone want to pay a monthly fee for supplements when I could just go to the mall at the store and get them on my little discount card? I didn't see what the potential of it was, because the person who told me about it told me I would sell supplements to my classes. And I was like, no, I can't sell to my classes. I would be fired at the gym. And why would I want to do that? That's like icky. I didn't want to do that. So I said no. And then it wasn't until a year later when someone else told me to look at it again. And when I was like, what? This? Isn't that like some scheme thing? Is this legit? Why would you want me to go do this? And the reason why I questioned, why would you want me to go do this, was because it was my boss who told me to go do it. And that was Shalene Johnson. At that time, she became a product for the company, and that was TurboJam. And she researched 3 years later when they opened the coaching network to see what this was and if it was legit. And it was, of course. And that's when she started telling her friends, her family, everyone to do this. So I didn't consider coaching. I was first to know, because I didn't want to be labeled. I didn't want to sell things from my trunk. I didn't want to have purse parties at my house. You know, like, I didn't want any of that stuff. And I didn't want to be icky to anyone. I didn't want to sell people things until it was told to me in a different way, which was, how can you really help more people? You're not everyone's cup of tea. And I know that. And I'm okay with that. And you have to be okay with that, especially as a fitness professional. You have to be a turtle for sure. But what I then realized was, when I was an instructor moving into becoming a presenter, I removed the walls, and now I can have a greater reach when I was a presenter. So my reach became even greater in a Kool-Aid pool, you know, people who like Turbo Kick and Pio. But I learned and I capitalized on the scale and growth of her company to grow me. So her platform, her foundation, I capitalized on that for me to grow. And then when I added coaching on, it now removed every wall, because now I'm limitless, because we have online. And at the time I started coaching, this is where I started. I was 5 months pregnant. I had a 1.5-year-old son. I had a full-time job working for Shalene. I was the person that trained, recruited the instructors to her company to become professionals. I was the one that mentored them to grow as a fitness professional presenter. And so my role was quite busy. There was a 24/7, 365 availability with that job. So I had a bun in the oven, a kid, full-time job, and then 3 fitness part-time jobs. You know, when you do fitness, you have like 1099s from everywhere. Like, that's just what we do. So when I told my husband I wanted to do this, he said, I want nothing to do with it. You know why? Because he saw it as another fitness job that I was going to give my all to and get nothing in return. And to fast forward on this story, what ended up happening was I was successful. But because my husband and I had separate bank accounts for just our personal stuff and then a joint for bills, He didn't know how much money I was making. And I didn't need to tell him because he didn't care. He didn't want to know. Until the day that I told him to go deposit a little check that I got from the gym, like $24 for teaching 5 classes, the normal stuff. And he goes to the ATM, deposits it, and gets my ATM slip for how much money I had in there. And it was 6 figures. It was multiple 6 figures. And he was like, what is this? What is going on? I said, this is what I've been doing. Now, income and success is not guaranteed by Beachbody at all. But your effort and your work and what you see for vision, it's possible. It is possible because I've come from nothing. I'm the youngest of 4 girls, poor town, no degree, just X-ray degree, like none of that. I'm not supposed to be successful by the cards that I've been dealt. But I took that into my own hands. And now if it's not more evident than ever for you to see that you don't have control when you work for someone else, or even if you have your own fitness business, you don't have control over your income. That you're losing the opportunity to expand your reach. You still can do all of that, but why not have the option of helping other people that don't like your class, but they would like you and they just want help from you. You know those people? Because that's where you're going to meet online. And that's what coaching is. So as I wrap this up, how would you actually do this as a person who works in a gym or has your own fitness? First thing is still be you. Still be exactly who you are in everything that you give. Don't switch your tune and start like promoting products and showing them like Vanna. Like that's so icky. I actually suggest that you don't say the names of the products and you don't show the product labels because you're going to generate a lot more curiosity. But it's pretty natural for you to make your shakes every day and talk, right, to stories or to use your pre-workout or if you're eating a bar or whatever it is. If you normally do those things, if you normally work out and you show it, that's just normal life. And you're going to continue to just show you living this lifestyle. But now it's expanded your options of what you can use too. And the other thing that you want to make sure that you do is invite people to what you're doing. So yeah, I would be teaching my classes at the gym. And you know how I invited people to what I'm doing without actually violating the rules of the gym? I created a Facebook group. I said, hey, let me just create a Facebook group and I'll help you with things. I'll share some form and technique tips from the class that we do. I'll help you with some meals and nutrition. So it's basically like a free little fitness group of people who follow me. And I knew that if I could just get them into Facebook world, they'd get curious on what else I got going on and they would go over to my page and find out more of what I'm offering and ask. So that was how I was able to generate interest, because you create your community and tribe of people that you already love. Put them all in there, support them all in there without selling any product, but you can invite them and say, hey, I've got a 2-week challenge going up. If anybody wants to be a part of it, let me know. You can invite online easily because you control that, you own that. And if you're concerned about how do I actually know what to do with social media or marketing or any of that, this is where the help is. You've got strong support right in front of you right now. The host of the call, I'm upline. So we've got this whole team support and we've got the success to prove that we know what we're doing. So I invite you to really consider doing this because you need to be able to have more control of your finances because we are out of control. We don't know what is possible. And right now it's a question. Right now is a question if those gyms are all going to be able to open back up again. It's a question on if that many instructors are needed on the schedule anymore because the gym lost so much money, they might need to let some instructors go. So if you love what you're doing and you really want to be able to do it in a bigger capacity, here's a platform, here's a foundation, here's a vehicle that allows you to expand your reach beyond what you think you can and still be you and help and change people's lives in ways that you never thought possible, because that is the cornerstone of why I do what I do. I never did it for money and I never did it for rank. I did it to impact people. And that's why I wanted to invite you. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to listen to my story. And I would love if you have any questions further. I know Emily said not on this call, but feel free to find me on social media. Shoot me some questions if you have any over there. But thanks so much again, Emily, for asking me to be here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Christine. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. I appreciate it so much. I'm just going to move right on in the call to pass it off to actually Elizabeth Stallman. And if you put your camera, by the way, to speaker view, then you can see who that is when they're speaking. But I'm going to introduce her really quick. She is a high school teacher. She teaches full-time, and she actually got her master's degree in education while she was teaching group fitness and coaching as well. So she's been a group fitness instructor for 15 years, mama two littles, wife to her hubby, her high school sweetheart. They live in Blue Earth, their hometown. And yeah, I'm just gonna pass the torch over to you, Elizabeth.
Perfect. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, sweet. So yes, I have been a group fitness instructor for 15 years. And Beachbody actually led me to that path. I started with home-based program called Turbo Jam. And when I found out that I could teach others this workout in a real live setting, I thought I would love it. So I became certified as a group fitness instructor, taught Turbo Kick. And to this day, I still run a HIIT/bootcamp style class, local gym. So for many of those years, I was just what we call a discount coach. I was reaping the benefits of 25% off the products that I already loved. But then 2 years ago, this is where my working coaching story started. My husband lost a part-time job that brought on a significant amount of our budget. And I thought I was going to have to get a waitress job, maybe pick up more hours at the gym, scrambling for ways to make money while this sat right in front of me, or is in my back pocket. I like that idea. I like that saying. So I told myself that I was going to dive into it. I found out that it was the best choice of my life, not only for me, but for my family, my gym clients who were struggling to get to my class on a regular basis. So here's what I did, or here's what I started to do, and what I've gotten out of it since 2 years ago. So my husband, again, he lost that job. And since he lost that part-time job, I have doubled what my husband was making with that, which kept him away from our family most of the summer. I doubled my income in the second year, and I'm projected to do that again this year. I'm a teacher. I adore my job at our local school district. But if my district decides to keep cutting teachers, or they say, hey, we have to teach these ridiculous class sizes, that I have a coaching opportunity to fall back to and say, no big thing, I have coaching. The second thing that I've been doing since this is I am not away from my family or adding more to my plate. I feel that everything I do in coaching is a behavior, not one more thing. I'm a busy woman. I'm a full-time teacher, mother, wife. So I was so happy to find coaching to be something that I can do, but not have to leave for hours on end to get it in. All I have to do is post about my own struggles and successes with others. I show others on social media and in everyday life that I'm an authentic person going through my own health journey, and that with all the chaos going on in my life, I'm able to attempt to control how I treat my body. This is actually how I build trust, by being committed to my own self. I also follow a vital behavior that coaches do, which is inviting and sharing. And I share what I'm doing. This becomes already very comfortable and not salesy and icky, because I'm doing vital behavior number one, which I mentioned, which is share my story. So as people are watching me fail and succeed in my fitness journey, they want to know more, and I want to share what I'm doing. So I, of course, share the best babysitter in town. I share my Instant Pot recipe. Why wouldn't I want to share what I am doing to find balance? So I also love another behavior of a successful coach, and that's recognizing others. As group fitness instructors, we're really good at this already naturally. And I just do it through social media and face-to-face. Social media is filled with hate, and I'm sick of it. I love bringing positivity to it. And I recognize my clients' achievements, my own achievements. We celebrate and reinforce every meaningful achievement and activity that leads to results. And the final thing that I did once my husband's job fell through and I started to actively coach was work on my personal development. By working on my mindset It's helped me realize I don't need to sit back and wait for my job or my school district to tell me how much I make or how big my tribe has to be. I get to decide that. And I find it so motivating that I have the power to be able to decide how much I want to make, not somebody else. I'm a CEO of my own corporation, and that is so freeing. So you may ask, with all of these hats I'm wearing, like many of you do too, when do I have time for these behaviors? And they're in power pockets of time. Time is a perception. As a full-time teacher, mom of 2 little girls, someone who still loves to teach at the gym, of course, and then one who finished my master's, as Emily said, while I was coaching, and a husband who works long hours, I don't understand or never accept the no time excuse. All of those vital behaviors that I was mentioning above, and that I've already mentioned, are just small moments in my day and not just one chunk of time. I don't have a chunk of time. As I lie with my daughter at night, I might secretly listen to a podcast on my earbuds about how to overcome roadblocks in my life, personal development. Right before I head home from work, I take maybe 5 minutes to message some people who were interested in my newest accountability group. There's that invite. During my workout, I might grab my phone and show social media how dumb I looked doing my trainer's newest yoga routine. There's that sharing. And on my ride to work, I might call a client of mine and tell her it's parent in my latest accountability group. That's that recognize. So it really doesn't feel like one more thing to me, but instead those behaviors aren't tasks, but just what we call them behaviors that have brought me more meaning in life and have provided me the opportunity to show up to my family being my best self, providing us with income I never thought I could bring home by helping other people, and how I feel stronger, healthier than ever. So I'm going to end my story today just to kind of talk to the person who's very busy, who's still on their own health journey and is waiting for others to maybe tell you how much you can make. I'm speaking to you because that was me, and now I'm rocking coaching.
She is. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to just keep this call going. So I'm going to pass the torch over to Becky here. And Becky is a mom of two boys, teenage boys, a wife to her high school sweetheart too. She's been a registered nurse for 20 years. She's also a board certified holistic health nurse, a healing touch practitioner, and a registered yoga teacher. And Becky had worked 17 years in labor and delivery until 3 years ago. She developed a integrative therapy program. I got to look at my notes for that one, for the hospital that she works at, where she got to blend all those specialties that I just listed together. And she signed up actually as a coach 8 years ago, but it wasn't until a year and a half ago that she actually started running with coaching. So Becky, it's you.
Thanks, girl. So, hey everybody, I'm Becky, and I actually was introduced to Emily at the gym doing Turbo Kick probably 10 years ago. Favorite program. Anyways, I remember Emily saying one day after the gym class, she said, if you're interested in anything about nutrition, let me know. And I did, and she told me about Shakeology. So I signed up as a discount coach, just enjoying the discounts on my Shakeology about 8 years ago. And with that, I lost 30 pounds. It was after having kids and, you know, how your bodies change and all that. And coworkers at the hospital that I worked at started asking me, what have you been doing to lose all this weight? And I'm like, you know, I think it's this Shakeology because I haven't done anything to change my eating or my workouts at that point. And so it just kind of came naturally. They're asking me, I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can make some money, you know, sharing this with you. And that's what I did. But I remember telling people, I don't care if nobody buys Shakeology from me. I'm just going to tell everybody about it because it is a dang good product. So that's kind of how I got started. And then a few years ago, Emily had reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in doing Beachbody On Demand or running with coaching with her. And at that time, it just wasn't good timing. I was deep into the Healing Touch practitioner program. And but I told her, just keep me in mind because you never know, it might be something that I would be interested in down the road. So she, of course, we kept in touch, and she had asked me a couple of years ago now, again, hey, you want to try this Beachbody On Demand and do this coaching thing with me? And I was like, yeah, the timing is good. I think I'm going to do this. But I had a few objections first with Beachbody On Demand. I told her, Emily, I love working out. I love going to the gym. I don't think this is going to be fun doing at-home workouts. They're 30 minutes. Like, yeah, are they really going to give me any results? And she's like, girl, you know I love going to the gym. I still work at the gym. You don't have to stop going to the gym. And so anyways, I did it. At that time, we had just moved, and in the midst of moving, I wasn't getting to the gym as much as I had been, which was really out of context for me, as I love working out. And so anyways, these 30-minute workouts came into my life at the right time. I also found To Be Mindset, which is a really great nutrition program with Beachbody. And all the while, I was still going to the gym once or twice a week, meeting up with my gym buddies. And during this time, they were, excuse me, they were like, wow, what are you doing? Because I had shaved off 20 pounds with the nutrition. And then with the workouts, I started getting really toned. And so the conversations just came pretty naturally. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing these Beachbody On Demand workouts in between coming to the gym, and you should totally do this with me. So and with the coaching, I had just kind of started coaching. I said, you guys should join my groups, and they did, and they still go to the gym. That's not, not taking them away from the gym. But people got interested, and the conversations just happened naturally. So it wasn't really like the salesy thing. It was just building on relationships that I had already been building with these people for like the last 14 years. So the other objection that I had for Emily was with coaching. I said, you know what, I can do this coaching thing, but Emily, I am a nurse. I am not a sales lady. And she said, perfect. She said, I'm not a sales lady either, and I don't want you to be. And you care for people, and that is your strength. She said, if you can genuinely share your story with others, you'll be able to help so many people. And I truly believe that as well. After I started Beachbody On Demand, I mentioned that I did the nutrition programs too, and I fell in love with them, felt like I needed to shout them from the rooftops. And as a healthcare professional, I feel that these nutrition and workout programs are something that I can stand behind 110%. So many doctors tell their patients you need to lose weight, and you do that by eating healthy and exercising, which leaves a big gap for many people to get from point A to point B. And that's where coaches can come in to help. We help them through their journey. We walk the journey with them. We're there with them. And it's just about, again, building relationships with people that you are already connected with and that you've already been building for your whole life. My parents are coaches on my team. They love their Shakeology and workouts and nutrition programs, coworkers, friends. So that's how I keep it from being salesy, is I'm just showing up. I'm being proof that the product works. So then people ask, what are you doing? I tell them my story, and I invite them to join me on the journey. And then in my yoga classes, a lot of my yoga students will ask me, can you teach more? I only teach one class a week right now because that's just what I have time for. And they say, can you teach more yoga classes a week? And I say, you know what, I really can't, but you are more than welcome to join me in my virtual challenge group, where you can do as much yoga as you want, when you want to, as well as other workouts, and we can talk about nutrition. I also blend in nutritional tips into some of my yoga classes, because we know as yogis that what we're doing on the mat doesn't stay on the mat. We are mindful of everything that we're doing off of the mat, whether it's how we talk to one another, or whether it's how we care for our bodies, be it through nutrition, hydration, and fitness. So coaching has really become pretty natural to me because it's congruent with my lifestyle. Conversations, like I said, happen naturally with karate moms, coworkers, yogis, friends. And I, like Elizabeth, work in pockets of time. I'm like Emily said, I'm a nurse, I'm a mom, a wife, all the things. And so I find time to fit this in when it works out in my personal life and around my family's schedule. And the one thing that I love about this crew is you are never alone. You're never, and I know Elizabeth will talk about this too, but it's a community. You're never alone. We're here together, better together.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you for sharing your story. I think we can all relate to that, not salesy. When people say, I don't want to be salesy, I'm like, good, because we don't want some salespeople on this team. So, and Christine shared that too. I'm going to pass it right over to Krista. She's going to speak next in her story. She was a middle school teacher for 5 years and actually also a former basketball, volleyball, and gymnastics coach, an interior designer. Her husband and her, Clay, and her have been married for 23 years. They have 4 beautiful kids, and she's actually also a personal trainer. So, Krista.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks for that introduction. And thanks to each of you for just taking time out tonight to hear from us. And thanks, Christine, for letting us lean into your experience and your expertise. So yes, I am a personal trainer. I have been for the last 5 years. I pursued that when my youngest was in preschool, and just knowing that I wanted to do something once all of my kids were in school full time that not only was lined up with my passions and my giftings, but also was still flexible. So I was certified as a personal trainer and quickly started teaching a boot camp class after that. I'm still teaching that same class today, only I'm doing it online right now, and picked up a few personal trainer clients. And I realized, as probably many of you have already realized, that 1 hour class that I taught a few times a week, really the time investment was multiplied, that it wasn't just an hour of my time, that it really was maybe 2 or even 3 hours of my time. By the time I planned for it, by the time I drove to and from the gym, I would need to get there early to set up the equipment and then stay after class to put equipment away. That really, it ate up more time than what it showed on my calendar. So I just realized I was going to have to scale it to something that was still allowed me to be a mom and make it to my kids' events and be flexible with my time. So fast forward a little bit, I met Emily about 2 years ago, and she told me about her role as a coach and asked me if I was interested, and I was not at the time, but I did join one of her challenge groups. And this was about a year ago now that I did the challenge group. So that just gave me a good idea of what those looked like, what her role was as a coach. It was a great experience for me. And so went through that. It was great. And then this past fall, when all 4 of my kids went back to school, I found myself just realizing that I had really kind of been in a funk the school year prior. And I just didn't want to repeat some of the patterns that I had established the year before. And I knew I just needed to pursue something else, and reached out to Emily in October and just said, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to be a coach. I knew that stepping up for others was also a way to step up for myself. So I started running my first challenge group a few weeks later. Didn't have really a great idea what I was doing. Not that I wasn't supported, but I just kind of jumped in and started and have been running with that now for 6 months. And I just have been affirmed and reaffirmed as I've been running these groups that my fire is lit when I get to encourage people, when I get to walk alongside them in their journey. I love seeing people start believing in themselves again. And as they start to achieve goals that they didn't think they could achieve on their own. So it is such just an honor, really, to be able to be that in someone's life. And the other thing about my challenge group that I've just realized is I just have a wide array of participants. I have women who have stepped into my groups who've been scared. They're coming out of their own funk and taking on a new workout program or nutrition or whatever it is for them was a scary step. But I live in Colorado and we have some hardcore athletes here. And so I have the other extreme. I have women in my group that have run ultra marathons. I have people in my group that race up Pikes Peak, that have been in elite mountain bike races. I mean, I have hardcore athletes. And I was a runner for many years and I raced well over a decade. And I was one of those people that ran up Pikes Peak. And as I think back to my years running and racing, that's all I did. I just did cardio. I didn't do anything else. It was just cardio all the time. And now that I've done some of the programs with Beachbody and completed them, I realized what a tool I missed out on and what a better athlete I would have been, as these programs just help not only with strength training, but with core stability, with agility, balance, flexibility, functional movement patterns. I mean, everything. It hits it all. And I wish that I had had that tool when I was a runner. So if you or the clients that you service are runners or bikers, or they do CrossFit or whatever their passion is, they can still do that. You can still be a runner or whatever. This is just another tool that really will help round you out as a more complete athlete and a less injury prone athlete as well. So I could go on and on. I want to respect your time tonight and tell you other things that I have learned to love about these programs and about this company, but I will pass it off to Emily.
Thank you, Krista. All right, well, I'm going to actually just jump into my own story and share that with you. So as I mentioned earlier, I was a teacher, elementary school teacher, and I resigned to stay home with our babies. And I found out really quick that I needed something for myself, and fitness became that answer. I started with a home workout DVD, Turbo Jam, and 3 months later, I was on the group fitness stage. And the minute that I stepped on that stage, I was in love. I knew that I had stepped into something that I needed to do. And that just snowballed. It snowballed into becoming a personal trainer, working at every gym in my zip code, and then running my own studio in Minnesota. And all this, actually, I'm going to ask you this because I think maybe a few of you might be able to relate. Fitness was my outlet socially, to be with adults. It was my outlet energetically, both mental and physical energy I had to release, and fulfillment. It was a way, teaching group fitness classes, to make me feel like I was contributing to society, making it in other people's lives outside of motherhood. And so I was in love. And I shared Turbo Jam with everyone inside and outside that gym. Now, Beachbody coaching wasn't a thing back then. It wasn't available yet. At least I didn't know it was. But Turbo Jam was a Beachbody program. And I was sharing it with everyone because, like Elizabeth said, if I drink a good bottle of wine, you're going to know about it. I'm a sharer. So I was sharing what I loved with everyone in the world. And I couldn't make a commission off it, but I didn't care. I just wanted everyone to have what had changed my life. So when coaching did become a thing and I was offered the opportunity, I said, well, sure, why not? I mean, I'm already sharing it. If I can make a little extra money with that, that's cool. So I signed up, but I really didn't do anything with it. I just shared it really nonchalantly the way I had been, made some extra money, paid off debt and paid for some vacations and things like that, but really didn't. Honestly, I held myself back, and I'll share with you now. Now I know what was holding me back. It was fear. It was misconceptions of what coaching would look like and what it was. It was limiting beliefs in myself. And honestly, if I'm truly transparent, it was ego. I was like, I'm doing my thing. I don't need that thing. And fast forward. I'm just going to fast forward 8 years, and our family moves to Colorado. And I wrote my vision for my life. And my vision had this common theme of freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of income. I didn't want to ever have to worry about money. And I wanted to know that I was making a difference. I wanted to leave my mark on this earth and share my energy, my love, and my passion with other people. But I wanted to do it my way. So I sat and looked at that vision, and there was one thing that fit it, and it was that thing in my back pocket that I had put in my back pocket 8 years earlier, coaching. I didn't know what it was, honestly didn't know what it was, but I decided that it fit my mission, my mission and my vision, and I'm going to do it. So I stepped into it, and best thing I ever did. It changed everything for myself and my family. And I'm just going to share with you now what it's done for me. And I want you to just listen to this. Some of these may resonate with you. Some of them may not. Some of them may fit your vision and some may not. And so as I go through them, just think of them in your life and do they fit your vision? Because I think that's going to help you after this call to make a decision if this is something for you or if it's not, because it's not for everyone. So back to my vision, it was freedom of time. Freedom of time means so much to me that I can set my own schedule. I don't have to be on anyone else's. I don't need to ask for a day off or time off. If the sun is shining, I'm going to go hiking and I'm going to work tonight. If my kids have an event, I'm going to be there. So having that freedom of time, freedom of location is really important to me too. So I can do it from, I've done it from my kids' sports practice. I've done it from the mountains, and in a hammock, as long as I have Wi-Fi. I've done it from Ecuador. So being able to do it from wherever I want to do it. And then that freedom that I also talked about of doing what I want to do, how I want to do it is important to me. And I love that coaching isn't cookie cutter and that it's not prescribed. It's like you need to do it this way. So I could be the boss, I could be the CEO, but like the other lady said, I'd have a team to do it with, and I wasn't alone with that. And that last part of my vision was that outreach and serving and knowing that I left my mark when I leave this earth and making a difference. And coaching, as Christine said, it took the outreach that I had beyond those four walls. And now I've been able to reach hundreds of people, and the coaches on the team have reached hundreds of people. And who knows where that ripple effect will ever end. And so not only reaching more people, but on a whole new level of course, fitness and nutrition, but also mindset and daily accountability and open sharing. You know, in the gym, I love it. You know, the high five, how are you? But in our group, we can really go, wait, how are you doing? And making it just a deeper connection and building that community and connecting people and having that collective energy and that positive energy. Because a lot of people, we don't realize they don't have that in their life every day. And we get to be that best part of their day as coaches, and then helping others, as Krista said, believe in themselves and letting them borrow our belief in them and what we see in them until they see it for themselves, just empowering others to live their best life. So all of those factors were in my vision. And so coaching's giving me that opportunity. And finally, the team to do it with, this team here, I've never had relationships this deep and this genuine. And being on this common mission to help others live their best life. I mean, to be surrounded by a coach team of people who are not just settling for good in life or great, but going, I want an extraordinary life, and giving others permission to live an extraordinary life, to give others permission to live their best life. And that's what coaching has given me. And then back to that freedom of income as well. And as Christine said, income would be nothing without these other things, but that freedom of income where now I instruct and I train as much or as little as I'd like. It's just it's for fun. It's a hobby. So I can take as many classes as I'd like, but I don't have to take them for an income. And that brought a lot more joy to doing that in the gym for me. And then that residual income. I don't have to be belly to belly with or in the gym to earn that income. So I can make an income when I am on vacation, when I am sleeping, and not just when I'm in the gym. So that's another big factor for myself and my family, and a big gift that this has brought to us. So the other part I was supposed to go into, and just because of timing, I'm not going to go into much detail with this, but how we get paid as coaches. And there's just a lot of ways that we do get paid. I'm not going to go into all the details, but the coach who invited you here, we can help you understand the compensation plan and how that all works. But I want to just let you know, like, what we all appreciate. And I know this is, especially for me, in my life, I really appreciate that it's up to me we want from this. It's up to us what we want. What we put in is what we're going to get out. So we can put as much or as little as we want into it, and we're going to get that in return. So no longer is my income up to the gym owner or someone else, but it's up to me. And, you know, we've got Christine on here who has surprised her husband with her income way back in the day. And then myself, I've been the full spectrum. I made that little extra money back in the day to help the family out. But now I'm working part-time as a coach, but making that full-time income. We've got Elizabeth, who is now on the verge of matching her teaching income with coaching. And as she said, she loves teaching. She doesn't want to quit. She has the opportunity, but she doesn't want to do that. She has the opportunity to do both in her life. So I love that coaching gives this opportunity for people to do whatever we want with it, and that's up to us. So I guess I'm just going to sum this up with coaching has made my vision a reality, and that's why I'm passionate about sharing it with others. So if any of those pieces are part of your vision, then this might be an opportunity for you too. So we're almost done there, guys. I'm going to pass it off to Elizabeth. She's going to wrap this up, and then we'll close out the call.
So, yep, we are finishing up, you guys. I'm here to close us out with a now what? Heard all this information, all these stories. If this is something you want to take hold of, what's the next step? And we just ask you let your coach know that you're interested, the coach who invited you to this call, in joining our team if that's something you're interested in, or if you have more questions that we didn't answer. If you think you want to work this more, I really want you to understand that one of the biggest fears for most is the following. I do not know how to coach. I don't know how to share with others without coming off icky or salesy. I don't know anything about social media. I don't have many people that would want to join me. I don't even know what personal development is or can do for me. All of those coach vital behaviors I had mentioned, I don't know how to do those. And I'm here to tell you good. We will show you how to do them well, because there's a way to do those vital behaviors in a very bad way, and we will show you how to do it well. For all of our coaches, we have mentorship opportunities that address all your doubts and fears. We have duplicatable and relatable, reusable material that we all have access to as a team. This team is very active. For example, as you see, this very sneak peek was run as a team. The team aspect's wonderful. And it reassured me that if I had a problem or a question, I had people to turn to help support me, whether it's personally, professionally, or anywhere in between. We're an action-orientated team, and we don't care if you don't know how to do any of the things you don't think you know how to do or have fears about. But what we're looking for are authentic souls who are service-minded, who want to do the work, to learn how to coach, how to help others through their own health journey, while you as a coach focus on yourself as well. We want gritty coaches who are ready to make more money and not have to wait for someone else to have say in that timeline or budget. We want people who are willing to be growth-minded, coachable coaches who want to see this world with more people who are happy in their own skin, a world with more people who find their bodies powerful and healthy. We want the kind of coaches who are in the depths of their own health journey and are willing to spread the message that no matter where you are in that journey, you're going to love both the person who you are today and the person who is brave enough to start. We want messy, honest, and real individuals in all walks of life. We want real. We want warriors who are ready to link arms with others to work towards common goals, just being the change in our own health and helping cheer others on and fill our lives with purpose, friendship, and opportunity. And I want to thank all of you beautiful souls coming on here tonight. We said an hour was our limit, and look at us, just killing it at the time.
Woo, we did it. Thank you all for hopping on this call and giving us the opportunity